Hi everyone, Lady Rose here of Goddess Garage, and I'm doing this video about tarot, and what I wanted to talk about was a very basic thing. Actually a couple of basic things. I wanted to talk about shuffling, and I wanted to talk about how you start a tarot reading as far as what cards do I pick. And I found this question on Facebook, and I found it a few times, people asking this kind of thing, and I've had the question posed in my class as well. How do you get a client to pick tarot cards? There's a number of different ways, and that, like, when you're new, you're not sure how to do this, right? So I'm talking about different decks and stuff like that. So, you know, shuffling your cards. This is the gilded deck, so it's not as big as most decks. It's a bit bigger than a playing card size deck. So sometimes you have to, my hand is used to the bigger decks now to be able to shuffle them. Now the thing is, I often do the thing where you kind of do that, right? And you do this. Had to hold it up higher than normal. Don't let your clients do that. Because if you're like, I can do it because I've spent hours when I've been at shows or festivals or whatever, hours shuffling cards. So I'm good at it now, right? I know how to handle this deck. If a client does it, and I've had clients see me do it and then they try to mimic it back in the days when I used to let clients shuffle my deck. I don't, and it's not because of COVID. I had stopped letting my clients shuffle my cards because they're not necessarily a pro card shuffler who's shuffled for hours on end, and they tend to break or bend or drop your cards. They're usually not very good at it, especially since most decks are quite a bit bigger than your average playing card deck. So short of you tell me you're a Las Vegas blackjack dealer, you're not shuffling my cards. What I often do is I get clients to hold the deck, or I'll put it down on the table and I get them to put their hands over the deck, and that's getting their energy into the deck. So the deck, it's an introduction. I always say it's my deck being introduced to you and your energy and getting to know who you are and what you're all about and why you're here and that sort of thing. So, you know, it picks up on some of their energy. Now, this is the Nostradamus deck. I'm going to be doing a review on it. So it's quite a bit thicker. Show you. Quite a bit thicker than your average deck, because the cards are a lot thicker. So it does take some practice to do this one. I can do the, you know, arch and shuffle thing. But, you know, you're not going to be able to get your hands through the whole deck here. So what I tend to do is just take a little piece and shuffle that, take another little piece, shuffle that, take another little piece, right? I'll show you something else I do with this deck sometimes, but usually I do that shuffling because sometimes you also get these great big mammoth decks. So comparatively speaking, this versus this. So this is the giant Rider-Waite Smith deck, right? So this is a giant one. So you're not going to be able to stretch your hands unless you're a pro basketball player or something. And I can do the whole, you know, shuffling this way. I can't arch it yet because they are bigger cards. So I tend to just throw them together like that. But if I want to shuffle them, what I'll tend to do is I'll tend to do this and just rearrange them like that. So all I'm doing is I'm pulling them out like that. So I'm just pulling a few out, shifting them around. You know, maybe I'll put one in the middle a little bit and shift them around. So that's sort of how you can shuffle those bigger cards, or you can go top and then bottom, top, and then bottom, top, and then bottom. So that's how you kind of handle those bigger cards. So now, what do I do? How do I get clients to pick cards? What's the right way? The answer is there's no right way. It's whatever you feel. And I will change sometimes from client to client. I tend to tap in to how they're feeling, what their aura is like. And I'll sort of decide. The cards tend to tell me what needs to happen. You know, like whether I need to, you know, fan it out for them and then have them pick, you know, 5 cards, 6 cards, 10 cards. So I'll fan it out on the table, nice and flat, and have them pick you know, however many cards you want them to pick. Sometimes I'll get them just to pick 3, and then I lay the other ones out from the top. You can just shuffle the deck and you just know, okay, things are in place now, kind of thing. I always shuffle the deck before the client comes, because shuffling is a way of cleansing your deck. And it's kind of like, I compare it to, it's kind of like petting your cat, right? The deck just likes it. It just feels good when it gets shuffled, especially between clients, right? So you shuffle it between clients. And what I'll often do is when a client sits down, and the next client, I'll take the deck and I'll kind of be like reading it and going, yeah, it wants to move. When I say it wants to move, it means it wants to be shuffled. When I say, nope, it's okay, we're right where it is, right? Then you can take off the top if you want. You can, like I said, splay them out for a client to pick. You know, like I said, you can get them to pick all the cards from the spread, whether it's 3 or 20 cards, whatever. Or you can get them to pick maybe 3 cards and you take the rest off the top, kind of thing. You don't have to get them to pick every card. Or you can also get them to cut the deck. And you can tell them, you know, cut it in 3, cut it in 2, or you can let them decide. What do you want to do? Do you want to cut it? And by cutting it, if anyone doesn't know what that is, I'm going to tip this down a little bit. Here you go. So, here we are. So when you spread it, you're doing this, right? That's the spread. Back this up a little bit. So I don't have a lot of room. I've got a lot of decks on the table right now. So when you spread it out like that, and they can just go in and pick. If it's a thicker card deck, sometimes the thicker cards don't spread out quite as easily, and you'll end up with clumps here and there. And I say, don't be afraid to dig. So, you know, if you want to, you spread these cards out and do this, because some clients don't know that they can do that, or feel hesitant about that. So make sure they're comfortable with doing that. Or like I said, you can get them to cut the deck. So cutting in 2, there you go, cutting in 3, and then you can kind of just pick them up. Don't pick up the first cut, because that's just putting the cards on the top that were on the top already. You're getting them to move them around for a reason. Or, you know, like if you're doing, like, say, a 9 card spread that's 3 rows of 3, you can get them to cut it into 3. And then this first one is the bottom row, this one's the middle row, and this pile's the top row. So that's just some different ways that you can get clients to pick out cards. So again, like I said, there's no real wrong way of doing it. And sometimes you can pick out the cards for them, or you can cut the deck for them. When it comes to cutting the deck, I usually get clients to do it, because again, some of their energy is going into this reading. I'm trying to get myself upright here again. All right, there we go. Now, the other thing is online, because online is becoming very big to do readings. And how do you get clients to pick cards? I do a couple of different systems. I either say, you know, tell me when to stop shuffling, and I'll hold the cards so that they can see me shuffling the cards, because most of my readings are done over Facebook video chat or Zoom or whatever, so they can see me. And I'll just get them to tell me whenever they feel like the deck needs to be stopped in shuffling. And they might, like, I might be in mid shuffle, like they might go stop, okay, and then I put the rest on the bottom. That's all I need to do, right? Or you can divide the deck up into piles, and you can just do random piles. Say you want to do a 6 card spread, so you divide the deck into 6 piles, and you count out how many are in each pile. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in it. Now this pile is quite a bit bigger. So usually I try to count the cards before the client gets here. So I kind of, oh yeah, this is 9 cards, this is 11, this is 12. I don't do like, okay, these all have the same number in them. Sometimes I do. If I have 6 cards, I'll lay out, you know, just do 1 card at a time in 6 piles kind of thing. But most of the time I just randomly cut it, because I just feel that the randomness adds to it, right? So this pile, like I said, has 9. And what I'll do is I'll say pick a number between 1 and 9. Say they pick 3. 1, 2, 3. That's their first card, right? Then I'll go to the next pile. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pick a number between 1 and 8. Say they pick 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? This one looks a little thicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pick a number between 1 and 12. Let's say they say number 1. Make it nice and easy for me. But I always say don't be afraid of the big numbers. Like, I can count all the way up. There's only 78 cards in this deck, so, and I'm never going to count to that amount because each pile is, you know, smaller than that, obviously. But that's how I get them to pick out those cards. So again, we're putting some energy into the deck. They're putting some energy in by picking cards. And I kind of pay attention to which cards or which numbers they pick. The other thing I tell them is don't be afraid to repeat a number if you feel inclined to do so. You don't have to do a different number every single time because some clients feel like, oh, well, I picked 3 last time, I can't pick 3 again. No, if you're feeling 3, then do 3. So like I said, there's no real wrong way to get clients to pick numbers, but I wanted to include those couple of extra ones for online readings because sometimes you can't get clients to really pick out cards physically. So this is a different way of getting them to pick cards and to be putting energy into their own reading so that it becomes a deeper reading. So I hope those tips helped on shuffling and how to get people to pick cards. Okay, good luck with all your readings. If you want to know more about tarot lessons, please contact me. I do have books that I sell as well. If you want to have a reading with me, I do online readings as well. So please reach out to me. I'll put all my contact information in the comments below so that you can find me, follow me, and help support me. Okay, thanks so much for being here. Take care. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so when you know when new lessons are up, and also like this video if you can. Thanks so much. Bye.